Howdy, everyone. Thanks for coming. Just give me a minute and we'll get started in just a few. Alrighty, folks. Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you all for coming, guys. Today is the February 24th, as you know. The only member officer meeting that we're going to have prior to I Week. So kind of a big deal. See, y'all can see my screen. A few things we need to go over. Mainly volunteering, and then each of the execs have a few announcements. I know operations has a poll they want to do, and Luis has some announcements as well, and Manuel as well. We also have a guest speaker tonight. Are they here now? If they are, can they unmute their mic and say hello? Okay. They might not be here now. Manuel, did they say that they were on their way or coming?
No, I don't think they emailed me.
Okay, so maybe.
Yeah. I don't know if
maybe
they'll
they
come
might not come.
later. Yeah.
Oh well. That's fine. Manuel, if you want to grab the links that they sent you and kind of review the information, so by the time we get to you, you can talk about that real briefly. You can mention that because it's about the student election, and I think voting opens tomorrow or today, but it closes like by Friday. So this kind of would be the only chance for them to talk to us about it. Anyways, that's not really what ISA is doing. But as it currently stands, all the events are kind of on their way. What we need right now from you guys is promotion and getting volunteers lined up for all of the events. So how it's going to work for members and for all officers that aren't already co-chairs of an event, you guys will all have to be required to work at least 1 hour, preferably 2. And how that's going to work is we're going to have a sign-up sheet on the ISA Drive. We'll send out the link to all of you. But if you don't have access to the drive already, let your execs know and they should be able to add you. But just go to the iWeek 2021 folder and go to the iWeek 2021 sign-up sheet. And this is where you would put your name and phone number and choose the times you'd want to work. The dates are all outlined, the location, the event that it'd be for, all the details are there. And then in the same Google Sheet at the bottom of it, you can see a thing for posters. Put your name. What's happening here is we have 40 posters that we need distributed. It's actually 40 now. It was 225, but most of those got distributed already, thanks to Luis. And so everybody that can put their name here, just go to the SPO, grab 2 or 4 posters, go to that location, and there should be cardboard, those little cardboard things on the wall where you can stick a pin in it and
Bulletin board? Is that what you're
Yeah,
trying to say,
bulletin
Sean?
boards.
A bulletin
Yes.
board.
There should be
It takes
cardboard
somebody
bulletin
old.
boards.
It takes an old person to know what's going on.
Right.
The old-fashioned way of promoting an event before social media. Stick it on the bulletin board.
Right. Before TV screens on every single hallway. But yeah, they're in the ISA office in the SPO. If y'all don't know where that is, the SPO is the Student Programming's office. ISA has an office within that sort of big office area that is called the SPO. And to get there, you go to the second floor of the MSC. If you take the stairs that it's the same staircase that goes to the bottom floor with the Panda Express all the way to the second floor. And as soon as you go up the top of the stairs, immediately to the left, and then another immediate left, so kind of a U-turn, you walk into the SPO, and there's a sign above it that even says Student Programming's office. And then you walk in, you take a right past the desks, and you'll go down a long hall until you reach the end of that hall. And if you were to keep walking, you would walk straight into Rhonda's office. And you maybe can say hi to her whenever you do this. And then to the right of her office is the ISA office. And in there, you should just have the posters and bags of thumbtacks sitting there for y'all. So that should start Friday. So we'll distribute this link in the chat now. And if you guys can put your names in here, and then starting Friday, make your way to the MSC, grab those and do that. And if you don't put your name here, then the exec should be following up with you and probably will assign you one location or another. Obviously, if you're not on campus, then you can't really do much here. So thanks for listening. But anyways, that's the sign-up sheet. Dua, did you have any other comments that you wanted to add that I might have forgotten?
No, yeah, just my main comments were regarding the sign-up sheet for the posters and also the sign-up sheet regarding the events. So like in the sheet, there's like specific volunteers, how many volunteers we need for each event. So if like the members and the officers who are not co-chairs, if they can sign up for volunteering, that would be great.
Yeah, and I actually did forget to mention.
Can I ask a question, you guys?
Yeah.
What about the yard signs?
Yeah, I just forgot about that.
Are they signing up for both poster and yard sign distribution?
Yes.
Yes.
So imagine I said everything I said, just put yard signs in there too. So whenever you go to, say, Helden Fells to put up your posters, just kind of look around for other yard signs or areas with dirt that you can put a yard sign on that you think there's like high traffic areas, and just stick that yard sign down with the stakes. So there'll be posters, thumbtacks, yard signs, and stakes, those 4 items.
So can I just summarize what you said, I think, and that is you want every officer and member who is not a co-chair to sign up for 1 to 2 hours of volunteer staffing time for one or more of the iWeek events, correct?
Yes.
And you also want every member and officer who's not a co-chair of an event to, in addition, sign up to put out yard signs and posters, 2 to 4 of each, 1 sign at each building and 2 posters at each building. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, I think that's correct. Now, the only thing I'm missing is you said the posters and yard signs would be available for pickup in the ISA office starting Friday. What is the deadline for people? When do you want to have everything out? I think at one point you guys had said you would like to have everything out on Monday.
Monday. Yeah, so they can work hopefully over the weekend. That would be great. So Monday would be the deadline to get all the posters and yard signs distributed and
So
stuff.
people could come and pick them up on Friday and distribute them over the weekend or on Monday morning, or they could come by Monday morning and put them out sometime on Monday.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, I
And-
just wanted to make sure I was clear on all that on behalf of everybody else who may not understand what's happening.
No, thank you, Rhonda. Sure, we all appreciate it. And just another note, or two things. I'll be at the ISA office on Friday from 12 to 3, maybe a little longer, but I'll be there. So in case y'all don't have my number, I'll put it there, and you can just call me or text me. You can also text me through WhatsApp. But another thing is, some of you might be thinking, you know, why do I have to do this? I don't want to do this. I'm just not going to do this. Everyone else is going to do this for me. Or one of those thoughts that leads you to not helping to put up the posters and signs. And to that, I would say, you can't leave it to other people, because we really are only, like even right now, there's only 22 people on this Zoom. And so everybody really has to pick it up. And if everybody in the Zoom call goes and grabs a poster, then, you know, that's 40 units. So that's taken care of. But if people don't, then we won't have the coverage with these posters that we want. And if you're wondering whether or not these posters and yard signs are actually effective, they are. And though I don't have the numbers to prove that right now, you can just take my word for it and trust me that these matter. And the marketing that they are, or that the marketing that they stand for is helpful to the success of iWeek, which is really the one thing that we put all of our heart and soul into in the spring semester. And we just have to get it. We just have to have it be successful. Like that would just make my semester. I'm fine with failing 1 or 2 classes. Not really, that's a joke, but you know, iWeek, I want people there, and we all want people there. So, you know, and this is a fun way to do some work with friends. Anyways, enough about that.
Hey, Sean and Dua, somebody asked in the chat if they are remote this semester, how can they contribute? Obviously, we wouldn't have you staffing an event in person or handing out posters and yard signs, but perhaps those folks could, who are remote, could double up on social media shares and try to get posts and stories shared as much as possible, or comment on shares and posts so that the analytics bubble those to the top. Maybe you guys have some other ideas how remote members can contribute.
I would just say, like, spread the word out, I guess, like talk to your friends about it. I'm pretty sure some of your friends are still like staying on campus and stuff. So maybe just like talk to them about it. Maybe they would want to participate. And like Rhonda said, post it on your stories. Yeah, just try to get the word out, I guess, and like get people to participate in iWeek. Yeah, that would be great, to be honest.
Yeah.
And, you know, really nearly all of our events have a virtual component this year, and it's open to anybody in the world. So friends and family back home, you know, all of you have friends and family from other places. Be sure and let them know about these events this week. That's the wonderful thing about, you know, doing things online. It may be 2 o'clock in the morning for them, but they could still participate and see the fabulous things that you're up to in ISA.
Yeah, no, and it's not even a small deal. Reposting and sharing on social media. You know, social media is, I think, a huge element to the marketing on iWeek. And even though you can't come in and help us distribute these posters and these physical things, you can still have a massive impact just by sharing the posts. I think it's really that simple. So yeah, thanks for the question. Moving on, I want to do something new. I didn't mention it in the email, but the thing is, I think we've all, in the past many meetings, I don't know about y'all, but just kind of sick of not having, I don't know, every Zoom meeting that uses breakout rooms to me feels more engaging. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, kind of in the middle of the meeting. So what I want to do is just kind of take a break really quickly before we get into the exec announcements. And then after that, get into iWeek. Just take a quick 4 minutes and you're going to go into random breakout rooms with about 3 to 4 people and just introduce yourself, introduce or tell them what your committee is, what your major is, and any fun fact about you, favorite food, favorite animal, name of your pet, anything. But yeah, we're just gonna do that real quick, and hopefully y'all enjoy it. Let me, boom.
What's up, Sean?
Howdy guys.
So, wait, Tejas, what did you say you are, a junior?
I'm a junior, yeah, computer science junior.
Oh, okay, nice. I'm a junior, doing mechanical engineering with a minor in computer science.
Oh, okay,
And
great.
yeah, and I'm the VP of outreach. So yeah.
Oh, perfect.
And how about you, Anurag? I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right.
You said it right.
Okay, good.
I'm a grad student in the Material Science and Engineering department,
Oh,
and I'm on campus this semester, but I'm Indian by nationality, but I live in Qatar, Doha, Qatar, and yeah, I mean, I like my favorite sport's cricket.
Oh,
oh, nice.
have you been able to play cricket at all in College Station?
No,
Nope. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Hmm?
What committee are you?
oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that. I'm in the finance
it's-
committee.
Oh, okay.
Finance committee.
And
Okay.
Tejas?
I've just joined. I have no idea. Like, I've just joined randomly.
Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, you just joined like in the past week or so, right?
Yeah. Well, actually not sure,
Uh,
but like continuing, but like, I don't know. I kept receiving emails, and then I was like motivated to like go and join, like, for the meeting. So they were
okay.
right.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
Yeah.
are you? I know comp sci is pretty intense, especially at this point.
Yeah.
But I guess what interests you about ISA, or do you have any questions maybe that I can answer as the president?
I mean, I just wanted to know like how it works, or like what people do over here. This is like my first first few organizations I've joined,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, I've never been in touch with or like been a part of any organization like ever since now. Like I was like I should give it a try, so I started with ISA.
Mm. Yeah, not a bad
So I'm
organization.
actually like really fresh to this. I'm looking forward to learn a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely. ISA, did you come to A&M as a freshman or did you transfer from somewhere?
No, I came into A&M as a freshman. I was in
Okay, so you've been
Galveston for
here.
the first year, but like and then
Uh,
I moved to College Station.
mm-hmm. Have you settled in College Station okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to live at the
Yeah.
Standards, but like just due to the pandemic and all those reasons, I'm back home right now. But I'll be
Okay.
back there next year.
Where's home for you?
Uh, Home, Saudi
Is
Arabia.
Oh, okay. So what time is it over there right now? It's like
It's 3 a.m.
okay.
Oh wow.
Well, on your question, ISA, I mean, it's kind of a mix of I mean, we're kind of a social organization. We're also kind of a working organization. Um, So we have socials, but then we also host events. And then we also have professional development events from time to time throughout the semester. We didn't have one last semester, but hopefully this semester. So in other words, it's really, I think, a chance for you to meet people, kind of like what we're trying to do now, and make some friends, which I guess that's not new to any organization, but also an opportunity to do some, have to gain some real experience with programming. And what all of that does, I think if you boil it down to, I guess, a skill set that that you could put on your resume or talk about in an interview, is you're working on communication and teamwork, and maybe even leadership, all of which, even though you're in comp sci, I mean, in comp sci especially, I think they look for people that have experience with communication and that are good communicators,
Yeah.
especially because so many computer kids, it's like they live on the computer. Because I'm a junior computer engineer, electrical track, but a lot of kids, they know how to code, and maybe they do best on their own, but working in a team is kind of with them, or explaining the technical problem in sort of layman's terms, to like in a company, I guess you would be explaining it to the business side, is problematic. And then also just in general communication, workflow, working within an organization in general is also kind of a thing you gain experience with ISA, at least, even though it's kind of amateurish because we are a student organization, but even still. And so all of that is just kind of one big, joining ISA is so that you can gain experience, which kind of sounds small, but I think it's a little underrated. Because at my last
No,
interview,
that's true.
yeah, that was, I talked like almost the entire time about how I joined ISA as a freshman, and now I'm president, and like the journey, and yeah. But
Oh, that's great. That's great.
yeah, no, it's ISA was also the first organization I joined as a freshman.
Same with me.
Okay. I think I'm a bit late over this.
Nah, it's all good. And then
I'm gonna
Anurag, I was
dip
gonna
out.
say,
Rhonda.
Howdy, howdy.
Fiza, did you want me to do the poll for ice skating social, or just
We're
wait?
having the presentation first. I'll just do it probably in the next meeting or the meeting after. Right now, for right now, I actually just do it. It's a good idea to have. Just do if people want to have the ice skating social or
Field
the
day outdoor fun?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I already have that prepared. Yeah, because our next meeting isn't until really the 17th.
Yeah, just do it right now.
Oh shit.
Okay, welcome back, guys. I actually had one other announcement before we move on to the committee announcements. And that is, I mentioned it in the email, electing the next president for ISA. And let me get the okay. So this is a rough timeline. It actually needs some editing still. Sorry, Rhonda. But basically, starting tomorrow, you all will be able to, if you're interested, apply to be president of ISA for the next year.
Sean, do you want to share your screen?
Oh, thought I was. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so starting today or tomorrow, you'll be able to start applying, and I'll be sending out the link to that application in the WhatsApp and via email. And so you'll have from then until March 14th to apply. And then after that point, on the 17th, we're going to be having March 17th, kind of in the middle of the whole, after we have all the nominees or I guess candidates, those candidates on the 17th will give a sort of speech and try and compete and sway you guys into voting for them or maybe for someone else. And then at the end of that week, the election results will be tallied and we'll have selected a president. Yeah, simple enough. So if y'all are at all interested, just contact me or Rhonda. You have both of our phone numbers, and you can ask us as many questions as you like as to what is expected of you, how much time of a commitment is it, what kind of work do you have to do, benefits. Though there aren't really many benefits, or not in the traditional sense, benefits. You don't get like healthcare coverage or anything. But yeah, any questions at all, you can direct them to me or Rhonda on that matter. So, all right.
Hey, Sean, where could someone interested in applying for president find the application? Are you going to be
There's-
sending out a link by email?
Yeah, I'll be sending that link out tomorrow by email and WhatsApp.
And I might just add only one other thing, that to qualify to run for president, you have to have served 2 long semesters, fall and spring, as an officer of ISA, and at the time that you would take office. So in other words, if you are currently an officer and have been since August, since the beginning of the fall semester, you would qualify to run for president. But if you've only been an officer for the spring semester, or you have only, or you're a member and not an officer, then you are not eligible. I'm sorry, I don't know that I said that very articulately. Nod your head if that made sense. Okay, good.
Yeah. So I guess for the members in this room that have only been members, unfortunately, you're unable to be president. But after we get the president, and then after we get the executive vice presidents, which I think if you really were passionate about, you could ask questions and try and be one of those guys or girls. That's also a possibility. And then after we get the execs in, we have to get the officers in. And that process, we have 5 committees, and ideally we'd like, 4 or 5 officers in each. And so you do the math, plenty of room for everybody if you want to rise in the ranks in ISA. So moving on to committee announcements. Does anyone have any questions before I actually do that? Okay, I'm seeing faces of understanding and compassion and diversity. Okay, so now starting with the committee announcements. Fiza, do you want to start us off with what operations has going on? And
Yes. So for operations, first I'd like to welcome new members today, because we do have a lot of new members this semester, and members from last semester who haven't renewed their membership, they can contact me. And also new members, if you're not placed in a committee or you're not into ISA group or your committee group, please contact me as well. I'll probably send you a link or add you to the whatever group you need to go into. Or if you don't know what committee you are, you need to talk to me. Second, so operations is doing this presentation on intercultural communication. The presentation is on March 4th, 6 to 7:15 p.m. Mark your calendars, please, and be there. I still have to talk a lot about that with Rhonda, so I'll let her talk about it and what the presentation is going to be.
Do you want me to share about the program? I'm sorry, I stepped away for a second. Is that what you want, Fizza?
She said yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I
No,
didn't hear you
alright.
for a
Her
second.
mic, like, cut out.
So the topic of this professional development session is intercultural communication. Dr. Marissa Soom, who is an associate director with Multicultural Services, is a specialist in that area. And she will be discussing teams like ISA and how to get them working together well in cross-cultural communication topics and issues. So as Fizza said, she's going to be here to speak to us on Thursday of next week. And I think this will be a great preparation for iWeek to help everyone prepare for working together. Does that pretty much cover it, Fizza? And I'm sure Fizza's going to follow up with some promotions, promotional
I will
emails, and a
actually
lot of
send an
information.
email. Sorry, I was gonna say I'm gonna send an email as a reminder as well, so everybody has it in their email record that when is it and what it's going to be about as well.
Along with a link, I'm sure, for the Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be great. I would encourage you all to attend. This is part of your benefit for being a member of ISA. Fizza's team usually does 1 to 3 professional development sessions per year, and this is one of those. And it's one of your perks of membership because other folks outside of ISA will not be invited.
That is true. It's exclusive to the members. And if you were to want to attend one of these sorts of things on your own, it would probably cost money. So, you know, at the bare minimum, you're getting something for free. I suppose if you paid dues, it's not entirely free, but you know, I think it's worth your time. Anyways, I'm gonna also send out one poll. Fiza, do you want to mention the social and then I'll just launch it?
Yeah, so the social is going to be probably a week or two after iWeek, and I just wanted to know how many. So basically, I have 2 options for social. If you want to go for ice skating, or do you want to have a fuel day? And also, I'm probably, hopefully, not 100% sure, going to have another online version of the social, so people who are not in College Station can also be a part of the social through Zoom, and we'll have activities and games there.
Thanks, Fiza. So yeah, just to recap that, I'll launch the poll now. The 2 options are whether you want to go ice skating, and all of the COVID stuff there is still taken care of. They're open, or go outside into Spence Park and throw stuff at each other. Oh wow, that was actually close for a second there. Oh wow. Okay, 11 out of 16 voted.
I just want to ask what's going to happen in field day or outdoor fun?
That is up to our imagination. And also, I mean, really anything, as long as we can stay, you know, 6-ish feet apart. I didn't say ish. And any game that you can think of, you know, we can do.
I'll jump in and say, Amishi, other organizations have done things like kickball and soccer, or the rest of the world knows it as football, things that you don't have to touch with your hands. But if you don't mind sanitizing after each round, you can also do things like with Frisbee or tossing a football, those kind of things, tug of war with a rope. Or just more word games like charades or categories or Pictionary kind of things that you can do standing around in a circle.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And it's like, I know we have hula hoops in the MSC somewhere. We could have a hula hoop competition. I know Anurag's favorite sport is cricket. And you know, we have a budget there. So if everybody was committed to wanting to learn cricket or play cricket, you know, I guess we could maybe get equipment for everybody. Uh, and Anurag could maybe teach us. I don't know. But it looks like most of the results are in. 14 out of 16 have voted. And I'll share those with y'all. Would any of y'all have changed your answer if you had known the information we had just given you about outdoor fun? I'm gonna look for thumbs ups. Okay, everyone seems okay with that. Oh, Sabine would have changed his answer. I'm not sure if that's enough to trigger a
Also,
recount.
Manuel asked about barbecue. That probably would not be an option with the current rules at the university about sharing food. So, I mean, you might be able to do some prepackaged things like cookies from Tiff's Treats or something like that. But yeah, I'm bummed out too. That barbecue would have been good, especially if you were cooking it, Manuel.
So maybe on that note, would it be, because I know the rule is under 10 is under 10 and outdoor, you probably don't need to seek like the mayor's approval or anything. But if we were to go out to, was it Lake Bryan, and have prepackaged, like if we got barbecue and had the restaurant packaged individually, and we did try to distance.
You could do that if there's more than 10. As you said, you have to get mayor's approval. If it's on campus, if it's in Spence Park or another open area around campus, then you do not need to get mayor's approval. You only need to get university approval. And so far, as long as you are showing that you're doing everything you can for safety precautions, my other organization, Fly, recently had an event, a retreat in Spence Park. So you certainly could do something like that.
Okay, so we could have maybe an outdoor fun with some food there. Food for everybody. It would just require, you know, people to RSVP so that we know who's coming, and you know, those people to actually come so that we don't waste any food. So with that, I think that's enough to trigger a recount. I'm gonna relaunch the polling. I'm gonna give you all just a minute and cast your second vote. Oh no.
Just don't vote for field day just because of the food, because the food's always an iffy thing. If you like the idea of a field day, vote for it because of the activities.
Yeah, the food is like 50. I mean, we can probably have I think it's likely that we can have small snacks, just like candies or something.
For sure, prepackaged items like I said, cookies, mini bundt cakes, something like that everybody could take home. But any kind of meal gets more iffy about getting it approved.
Okay, it's actually okay. 15 out of 16 have voted, and there's only a difference of 2. Okay, I'm gonna
I
share the
don't know
results.
what FISA feels, but maybe, possibly, you might try to work in 2 socials. After I Week, you're going to have the full month of April, basically. Maybe you could spread them out and have 2 different ones.
For now, it looks like it's a field day, but we'll see if we can have an ice skating social as well. But looks like it's so weird because every time I put out a poll, last time when I did, it was 50-50. So I was like, okay, looks like I'm going with my gut. Oh God, Luis says 2 socials as well. Okay, Luis, if you help me plan another one, I'll have 2 socials.
Well, let me throw something else out. I don't want to belabor this topic, but y'all had talked about making your traditional international dance night an internal event this year. if you wanted to drop that entirely this year, you would have maybe more capacity to do 2 socials.
Yeah, you're right. We can look into it after we have our first social and see how that goes.
Yeah. Okay. So all in favor of just sticking to this result and going to field day? I'll just get a thumbs up. I'll gauge that on a thumbs up from y'all. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All in favor of doing another recount? Okay. So
Wait, can you repeat? But
I saw a few people that wanted to do another recount. I think we'll just do 2 socials, maybe, but we'll do a field day for now. We'll stick to this result. That's enough of that. Okay. So there's your result, Fiza. Take that and run away with it. What happened? Stop share. Okay. Next up is Manuel. I know you have a few things to talk about, so I'll just let you take it.
all right, yeah. So my team is pretty much working on contacting orgs for iWeek so that they can sign up and volunteer. And I also have another announcement to say that on March 3rd, let me check my calendar. Yes, it's on Wednesday from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Rudder Plaza. MSC a lot will have an event where they're pretty much showcasing different countries. And for ISA, they asked us to make a booth. So we'll talk about ISA, and we can also advertise iWeek as well in that event. So here in the following, here, I'll send this in the chat. Here's the link to the spreadsheets. And because of COVID, they asked that there only be a max number of 2 people to volunteer at the booth. So obviously here I made a Google Sheets, and then here, like, that way people can sign up, and yeah. Thanks, Sean.
I just realized I was muted. Yeah, I'll send a post email after this meeting with
Yeah.
all of the links that we kind of mentioned. There's only 2, but yeah. So in case you didn't, if that didn't make, go
And I
ahead.
was about to say that also, I say, like, we also have our, like, little poster, like I say, like, in our office, where I guess, like, people who are going to volunteer, like, from the 6 to 7, like, they'll just have to go get the poster, and then that's it.
Yeah. So, what Manuel is saying is that on March 3rd, MSC a lot is having an event in Rudder Plaza. They have it every year, and it's kind of like our iExhibit slash. I mean, back before COVID, it was also kind of like iDinner because they had food there too, and they also had some performers as well. So it was also kind of like, it was like iShow, iDinner, and iExhibit all mixed in one in Rudder Plaza. It was kind of, it was a lot, but it was also fun. And so ISA in the past and this year has always had a table there. And so this year we're having a table there again. We would like to have 2 people there throughout the entire event, so from 6 to 9. And the thing Manuel mentioned in that last minute was that the people that go there first, so from the 6 to 7 time slot, have to set up. And what that entails is going to the ISA office. There's a box, one plastic box that's about the length of, I don't know, from the middle of this bicep to this bicep. And it's just a plastic container, like 6 inches tall. And it's got all of our tabling supplies, like a tablecloth, all the swag that we might give away, but I don't think we can do that. There's a trifold that's also in the office. And then there's also a little banner that sits on a metal stand. It's kind of fidgety, but that's also in the ISA office. So 3 things you got to grab: trifold, plastic container with the cloth and everything, and then a stand. And maybe, Manuel, you can write that down here
I was
somewhere.
going to say, whoever volunteers for the first shift, maybe Manuel can work directly with them to make sure they have all the tabling needs. Or Manuel might even be able to meet them. I don't know, for that first shift.
Yeah.
I know y'all have an exec meeting at the same time, but perhaps you or one of your officers who've done tabling before can work the first shift, just so everything's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
One word of warning, guys. You're going to have to come pick that up before 5 because remember the SPO locks down at 5 o'clock. So somebody needs to, whoever's doing the first shift is going to have to come by earlier in the day to pick it up. So
okay.
also wanted to mention that this event, as with everything on campus right now when we're tabling, is contactless. That means you will not be handing out flyers and posters, but one thought I had, Manuel, is that rather than your big old clunky banner that sometimes doesn't work, you might consider having an easel. We could save back one of the yard signs and just set it on the easel, and then people can come by and do the QR code thing with their phone to get information. So that might be another possibility.
Yeah, I like that.
So those are some details there that maybe still need ironing out, but
If you want to talk to me about the tabling and the easel and so on and so forth, we can meet outside of this meeting, Manuel.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. I guess like after a bit, the meeting.
I have a meeting I have to go to right at 7, but anytime tomorrow or Friday morning, I'm happy to chat with you.
All right, cool.
and if you're a member and you haven't been in ISA for a terribly long time, you might be thinking, oh well, I don't know what I would say about ISA, but I kind of want a table, but I don't know what I would talk about. Don't worry about that. If you want to do this and show up, do it and show up, and don't worry about your lack of experience or knowledge about ISA and ISA things. That can all be remedied easily. And it's also there's not a whole lot to ISA to talk about. Maybe 5 minutes of spiel, but not that much more. And you get to just hang out with someone else and meet the other people from other cultural organizations because they'll be there with their tables as well. Yeah, so that's that. Manuel, was that everything for outreach?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you, Manuel. Elizabeth, how is our money?
So yeah, just last week I just had the list finalized, like for the sponsors for iWeek. But yeah, since that's pretty much it so far right now. As like in terms of activity for the committee.
Nice. So we got some people to give us money for iWeek. That's always good to hear. And lastly, Luis, this is a big one. What do you got?
Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So with regards to the marketing of iWeek, first I would like to give a shout out to Tian and Whitney, who have been working on making this possible. So we have the website set up for like people to sign up to attend the event, and also for people to participate in the event, such as like speakers. And then with regards of our promotions, today we were able to distribute the posters to the dorms, and then we just need to distribute posters around the buildings where y'all take classes around campus. Also, we received the yard signs today, and that is also good because we'll have them for a longer time for people to view next week. And also our promotions for iWeek have been going through our social media. So in case y'all haven't seen them, go check our Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and you'll see our promotions there. And yes, that's what I have to say. Yep.
Hey, Luis, I don't know how difficult it'd be for you, or maybe Sean can do it. Your posters that you and Tion put together are absolutely gorgeous. Can someone share their screen and show the whole gang what they look like? And then I had another thought, maybe Luis, you could send out a PDF of the one that has all the dates and the QR code to the entire membership. Maybe Fizza can help you with that email list. But I was just thinking for those, especially those who are remote, they could post that poster on their, whatever media they want, or share it by email, or in whatever way they want to do that. Just an idea. Oh, there's the
I
art
will,
sign.
Oh man.
I will take
Yeah.
that into consideration.
Luis, do you have the or is Tion in? Tion is not in. Does anybody have the picture? Whitney, do you have the picture? Maybe want to share?
I'm about to send it to the grouping. Not the grouping, the what?
Oh. Okay. Well, you can all see it in the WhatsApp.
Very cool.
Actually,
It's
I'll pull
just
it
a
up.
beautiful poster. I wanted everybody to be able to see it.
Nice and colorful. Tion really nailed the these hexagons. They kind of looked funny when we initially scaled it to these resolutions, but now it looks nice and crisp, clean lock. Okay. Hopefully you guys like that, because that looks pretty cool.
Thanks, Luis.
All right. Yep. Thank you, Luis. That sums up the committees. I mean, there is one more. There's DUA from special events, but special events is pretty much doing iWeek. So that takes up the remainder of this meeting. Running a little low on time, so we'll just move on to iWeek then. Are my co-chairs ready in here to talk about their event? Yes, good, great. Okay, let's start with DUA. General announcements. Any? None?
I guess we're finalizing the last things regarding our events. The volunteering forms, the iWeek shirts, the marketing, and just trying to get participants. But yeah, those are just the general things.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. If you table or volunteer, or when you table or volunteer, if you don't have an ISA shirt already, we have a bunch in the office that we can give you, and we have, I think, plenty of all the sizes. And then we're also getting shirts for iWeek that you'll all get for that as well. So excited for that. Now, iExhibit.
Hey guys,
Whitney or
I'm here. Sabine.
Or no, Sabine. There you go.
Okay, so last week, well, I did not do anything because I did not have any power or anything like that. So, but Veronica managed to send us a mass email for the organization or interested organization that we have. We have already received one video, and we have, at least the last time I checked, we had like 2 or 3 interested people doing an iExhibit. And we also finalized, basic layout, at least with the one video that we had that might go into the website with TN. We had a meeting and we finalized that. So basically we are just waiting for the videos, and we're also just planning to send a friendly reminder for people to send us the videos before the deadline or on deadline. So basically that should go out by tomorrow, depending on when someone looks at the email draft that I have made.
Hey, Sabin, when is your deadline for people to submit videos?
It's right now it's at Monday, coming Monday. But if we don't get enough video, we think we can increase it little bit. It's at February 20th right now. So
I think
yeah,
extending it is fine, so long as that doesn't impose on Tion's time. getting it on the website. I had another
Yeah,
couple of questions for
yes.
you. You had expressed an interest earlier about doing maybe like a little quiz or something to get people engaged with the videos.
Yes, so but yeah, we discussed that for that we are just waiting for depending on how many videos we get so that we can make the quiz. And just we are also hoping, so we talked with Tian, he said it's not a problem, we just put a Google form link for the quiz on the exhibit website itself, so that when people get to check out the videos, they can just click on it and get the quiz or kind of thing.
You had also talked about prizes, and I wanted to remind you that we have a number of prizes up at the ISA office, and someone needs to come by and check those out and see if they're acceptable for you to use, and if not, we need to get some ordered.
Okay, yeah, I can do that tomorrow. I can come by and check and see if they will be fine or not.
If you'll just email me what time, I'm gonna be at the office all day tomorrow, so I do have a few meetings here and there, but if you'll email me when you're coming by, I'll let the front desk know to expect you.
Okay, yeah, that'll be fine. I'll email you first thing tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you, Sabine. That's great. Okay, next is iStory. And real quick for, I guess, the new members that don't know, iWeek is a week-long festival of 5 events, and these are the 5 events: iExhibit, story, dinner, and show and art. And if you don't know, if you're unfamiliar with them and you want to know more, just go to tux.ag/iWeek 2021. I'll put that in chat. Okay, Whitney or Antonio, go ahead.
Yes, so did you want just the general info or updates or both? Or?
Yeah, what are you guys working on? And
well, right now we're still getting the speakers and the judges. We're also working on the extra credit for the classes. I was able to contact already one judge. She said that she was available. She said that she was gonna pass the email to her colleagues about extra credit. So that's the business department that might have some extra credit in certain classes. Well, we have 4 speakers right now. And that is the progress.
Okay, so you've had all 3 judge emails go out, but only 1 responded? Or...
That's right. No, I sent the 3 of them.
And the other 2 haven't responded yet?
Not yet.
Okay. In that case, probably look for 2 more names, because it's been about a week since, right?
I would say so, yeah.
You might follow up with the 2 judges again, maybe even call their office, just because I know I was deluged with emails last week despite not having access to them. So I kind of feel like a lot of people are behind after Snowmageddon. I also had a question for you. By the way, for all of you co-chairs, I did read all of your PEP forms, and they were fabulous. You guys did a really good job. You may have gotten notification on a couple of them. I put some clarifying remarks or edited them a tad to make sure that all the other people who look at them would send them through with flying colors with no issues. But Antonio, in your PEP form, it said it had a list of 10 different names as speakers. So were those just possibilities, or I didn't really understand all the names there?
So actually I filled out the form. I think I made a mistake. I mixed it up. So those aren't all of our speakers.
Okay, who were the 10 people?
Wait, let me go back and look.
Well, the way they run it together, and it's not your fault, there's like no spacing. So there may have been somebody with 3 names or something like that. I just wasn't sure.
Okay.
There was 20 names there.
Oh.
And so I thought Rhonda Collins, 2 names, so that meant 10 people.
Okay, I see. Yeah, let me look really quickly. 1 second.
Were those possibilities of people? Is that where you were going with that?
Yeah, that's what I was going with that. Like, I guess I wasn't clear on the form.
Okay. So, but right now you only have 3, is that right?
4.
Yeah.
Oh, you have 4 presenters. Okay. I think 4 is respectable. I mean, I would certainly, like we talked about early on, I would rather you have 6 or 7, but if you only end up having 4, I think that's very, that's very good. The other question I had on the PEP form, I know some of the things are confusing, but there's an option there on the PEP form that says something like perks, and one of the items said free stuff. So I just wanted to clarify what that free stuff is, Whitney. Are we giving things away?
So what I meant by that was the awards and the stuff we would be giving to like judges and the winners. That's what I meant by free stuff.
Okay, that's cool. I just know now if anybody contacts me from any of the people who review those forms, I will know how to answer them. All right, thank you.
That's great, guys. Thanks. I think you have one template for asking whether or not they can do extra credit, or asking them to see if you have one email template for asking professors whether or not they can do extra credit and have their students come, right, Antonio?
Well, yeah, that was the first one I did, but then I had to make different ones because one was for the judges, and then I made another one for the extra credit, and then another one for the speakers. So yeah, I ended up using several ones. They're not on the Google Drive though. Would you like me to post them?
Yeah, if y'all don't mind. And that goes for everybody. If y'all don't mind keeping work on the ISC Drive, and if it's not too much trouble for you, it really helps the execs and I, especially Dua, Rhonda, and I, just keep track. And if we, on our own time, want to check in and just see what's going on, it's helpful.
It also helps for whoever's doing it next year to have a template to go by. It's very helpful if you save all your work on the team drive.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably even more important. But yeah, I'd maybe, if you're not already, try to email maybe 3 to 5 professors to try and get that extra credit. That's really where I think we get a lot of people, and they love to have their students attend this sort of thing because it's relevant to the subject that they're teaching, and students are fine attending because they get extra credit. So, and since it's over Zoom, we really have no limit on capacity for people to come and watch. So yeah, thank you, Antonio and Whitney. iDinner is next. Nini, I see you here.
So we've gotten to some of the restaurants, or except from the one of the restaurants, the Bourbon, I don't know how to pronounce it, Brauhaus, because we called them and they told us that we should get to their manager to talk about discounts, but we've been calling the manager for a long time and he hasn't answered. And I even sent a text the other day and the manager hasn't replied yet. So we're not sure about that yet. Also, Harris was planning on going to the Association of Former Students parking to check out the place on Friday. He was planning on going with, I think, you and Dua, right? And then
yes.
Have you all made an appointment? Have you contacted the association staff and told them you're coming?
Well, I'm not. He told me that he was going to get to it, so he probably should have. Hasn't replied yet because he told me that he's in the class right now. So
okay.
Yes, I filled out the PEP forms, and other restaurants are good to go. Well, except he told me that there's one thing that he told me about that I really don't understand, because he told me to reach out to Mama Africa's Kitchen, and they were like, ask how long will it take for them to like prep for the event. And then she told me a week that she just wants to use like the Saturday to buy takeaway plates and everything. So he told me that, well, we might have a problem with that because we're going to get our orders a day before, and then we're going to like tell them a day before about it. So I'm really confused about that. That's like, but he told me that he will explain more after his class. So that's all for now, I guess.
Okay.
Oh
I
yes,
think
and we're going to have a meeting soon. He
Yeah,
sent
I
out an
think
email.
Horace had asked to meet tomorrow evening since he wasn't able to come tonight. I'm available at 7 if y'all want to meet at that time. I have a meeting up until 7. But I had suggested, we could talk more tomorrow, but I think you can work around the mamas issue just by giving them an estimate of how many we want to order.
That's what I said.
And
That's
then
what I told you.
actually, yeah. So we'll talk more about it tomorrow. It sounds like y'all are on track for everything there. We can talk more tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'll send a reminder just right now for Horace to make sure to CC. He should be CCing you, Nini, myself, and Rhonda and Dua as well.
And I sent an email earlier to all of you regarding iDinner, some things that you should try and take care of before tomorrow evening when we meet. One thing I didn't ask you, but Nini, you could be researching this. Or maybe you already have. We had talked about trying to have some kind of warmers there for the food, whether they be like big old pizza insulated packages or actually some of those trays.
Sorry, what do you mean by warmers? Do you mean like cooler?
Something to put the takeout boxes in to keep them warm. And in the past, when we had a buffet, we physically had metal trays sitting on a warmer with a flame that kept the food warm. When they come in takeout boxes, we're not going to have any way to keep them warm, and especially if it's a cold day. Remember we talked about early on that maybe, he's bringing some up there. Maybe there's some way to try to keep the food warm during the hour and a half that people are coming by to pick them up. We could either rent them from a place like Party Time, or we could just bring ice chests or purchase some of these insulated things. But one of the things I would like you to be researching is how we might either buy or rent those things to have them for the day of the event. Sean, perhaps
I'll
you
look
can,
into it.
Yeah, perhaps you can send this. The other kind that I've seen caterers use is like a rack that's completely covered like in a tarp kind of material, and you just, slide them on trays on a rack. So either one of those, maybe you can send those links, Sean, to Nini. I know my words are not very articulate because I am not in the catering business. I don't know what they would be called. Oh, that's one like that yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Something like that. But there's also those kinds that are more temporary. It's just like a plastic covering. But we need to look into that, and either, if they're not too expensive, maybe purchase some that ISA could keep for future events, or see if we can rent them from a facility in town like Party Time, or borrow them from a restaurant, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's all I have for now. We can talk more tomorrow.
Yeah. So just a Google search for you just want to the keywords is catering equipment, and these are the two main things that a lot of catering companies use. I worked at a restaurant a while ago. These things are kind of heavy, but they're heavily insulated and they can carry a lot of food. Obviously, you need these sort of they're just big pans. with edges that stick out enough to be on a rack. And a lot of restaurants already serve their food, in quantities. Actually, since we're not doing a buffet style, they wouldn't really fall. They wouldn't really fall into the shelf, but they could still stack, and you can still keep them in this container, like in their bags, in their individually wrapped bags.
An easy way that is not going to look pretty, but I think will still work. ISA owns a couple of ice chests. And then there's ones we can borrow from the MSC, and I personally have a couple of ice chests too. You could put all of those takeout trays just in some ice chests, and every driver who goes to pick up the food could put them in the ice chests and then unload them when they get there. But anyway, I just want you to try to do a little research on that before we meet tomorrow.
Yeah. So definitely, I think y'all need to decide on. You can even email or call or ask the restaurants. They might have catering equipment, and you can ask if you can borrow it. And then if they say no, then maybe you can say, well, we'd also be willing to pay for it. Or maybe at this point, since it's kind of late, you can just say that you'd even be willing to pay for it in that email. I'll leave that decision whether or not you want to say that or how you want to word it to you and Horace. But yeah, we need catering equipment to be reserved, and we got to know how we're going to get that. And Horace is going to email them so that we know how to set everything up then. Okay, great. I show, and then I art, and then we'll see where we're at, and that'll be it. RK or Isabella? Or no, Dominic or I guess just Dominic. Sorry.
Yeah, so last time we met, we discussed at this meeting, discussing if we want to reevaluate iShow. I know I got an email earlier today from Dua. I guess you guys met with regards to that, but we've had 0 people sign up for fashion so far. I guess the team is feeling a little dejected and is wondering what we can do. Otherwise, we are unsure if we're going to be able to meet our numbers.
I think what our conclusion was when Dua and Sean and I met yesterday, Dominic, was that we could probably extend our decision making till like Sunday night to give you the remainder of the week. Sean, where are you on sending out another promotional email? I know you talked about sending one out yesterday or today that might go out Friday.
Yeah, no, the request still needs to go in, and then yeah, hopefully it can go out by Friday.
If Sean's able to get that request in this evening, basically there would be another email that would go throughout campus. And Sean, make sure this one you check not just students but employees also, because people like myself will forward it to student groups and so forth. Dominic, how many performers do you have signed up?
Currently, I think we've got 2 in person and then 1 video.
Okay. Have y'all replied to Chrissy at all to try to get in with her? Because she may also have some mailing lists or people to suggest to be part of iShow. I really wanted y'all to try to meet with her as soon as possible. She had indicated she was available Thursday and Friday and gave y'all some times. The other thought would be, Manuel said he had been trying to reach out to some people, maybe work with Manuel to contact some, organizations that we feel pretty close to, that he wouldn't mind just saying, hey, you guys really need to be a part of this. And then have y'all emailed the list from last year?
I think Dev has sent out all the emails.
Okay, well, you might double check with Deb. There should be a list of people who signed up last year. We did cancel, but you can go to the ISA website And those that did self-recorded performances are still on the ISA website, as far as I know. You could make a list of those names, contact them. And then 2 years ago, we should also still have a list of performers from those years. There are a number of groups that have regularly and always been a part of iShow, like the Bamboo Dance Group. There's another Chinese dance group. So there's several that the Indian Graduate Student Association often has entrants. So you might look through previous years and send an email to them as well. But we
Yeah.
we really do need to make a decision by Sunday night. So if you want to meet with me separately tomorrow and I can try to give you some more ideas, I'm happy to do so. Or with Dua or Sean. But I think what Dua and Sean and I were trying to determine is what would be a reasonable iShow for the amount of money we have to pay for the theater, which is around $2,500. So I think they had come up with the notion of about 10 acts, half fashion and half performers.
Right, ideally.
Yeah,
But you
I
can
saw
have
that
one
in the
of
email.
Performers or two fashion or however.
So I would highly recommend you meet with Dev and Perla tonight, and if you can, at least have a touch base meeting, let them know what you learned, and that you guys have another 3 or 4 days to really hustle and try to get some more performers. But if you're not able to, please don't take it personally. It's a bad year. It's just a bad year. And we've had unexpected delays from the VP's office in getting everything approved. And then last week was a wash, and I don't think anybody read emails. So let's do our best, or y'all do your best. And if we have to say we're not going to have iShow this year, please don't feel bad about that. It's just a weird year.
Sure. Yeah, I'll let my people know. Dev for sure contacted the people from 1 year ago, but we'll contact the people from 2 years ago and see. And then I guess on Sunday we'll report back.
Yeah, and I think between Sean's emails to the bulk, we call it bulk email, that goes all over campus. There was actually one that went out, I think, was it today or yesterday, Sean, to international students. And then if Sean sends another one to all culture groups, or maybe Manuel sends it. And then if you guys follow up with the 2 years ago crowd, hopefully that'll generate a little more interest and signups before Sunday.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
And thank you, Dominic, and express our appreciation to your teammates. I know it's a struggle, but I have faith. Let's really work hard for the next 3 days and see if we can get some more performers. And for those of you who are still on this call, if any of you are inclined to sing or dance or have a skit, or Elizabeth wants to show her talents in mathematics or perhaps breakdancing, you all are very welcome to sign up for iShow as well. It does not have to be somebody outside of ISA.
Yeah, and I just want to second the trying to meet up and email Chrissy, because that's a whole nother audience that we might get access to, that potential participants. So that's definitely, if you have
Yeah,
time,
there's
I'd set up a meeting
performances.
with her.
There's tons of performances every day of the week at the theater and auditorium, and she might be able to give you some emails of some groups that perform there regularly.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of something else. I think there's actually a academic department of performance studies or something like that. Maybe if you sent them an email and with the information and suggested that they share it with their students and faculty.
Okay, great. I'll add it to the list. Good idea.
You could also make a pitch for extra credit. for attendees too.
Sounds good.
Yeah, definitely. That's easy money in a university. Everybody needs that extra credit. All right. Thanks, Dominic. Really appreciate your directness and you being here all the time. I definitely. Next, iArt. RK or Isabella, whichever one of you wants to slam it down.
I can speak. Yeah, so for iArt, this week, Isabella and I are continuing to talk to our teachers and developing the content for our 2 classes. And then next week, we plan on having a Zoom rehearsal with our individual teachers just to make sure that everything is working out well and they have all their technology needs in order to host these classes, and we have all the details worked out. And then earlier this week, Rhonda had ordered our items. So thank you once again, Rhonda. And whenever we get the volunteer list, Isabella and I will look at the spreadsheet, and then we will email those people on the instructions for putting together the bags. It's not too terribly difficult, but we just want to make sure that those bags can be assembled in the way we intend them to. So that is our main focus for iArt, really, just making sure our teachers know what's going on and having that rehearsal next week.
Can I add that the person in charge of VAC's Art Fest finally emailed me back, and I was just wondering, Rhonda, are we still going to try and pay people's like international students' dues for that, which is actually due by this Saturday?
Well, it is totally up to you guys. I mean, this was just an idea from way back, but since they didn't get in touch with you, you can certainly promote it. Maybe you can work with Luis to put a couple of posts on social media and say, if you're an international student, ISA will pay for it. Did they give you like a promo code or something for signing up?
No, not exactly. I know we can meet up with them tomorrow during their meeting on Thursday, but also they sent me a list of like people who have already signed up. I've tried like cross-checking it and seeing if like anyone from like this from ISA like signed up. No one has. So I've just been wondering like how we're going to like be like how we're going to identify them as international students.
They will have to give you what their advisor had told me before, was that they could do a promo code of some sort on the registration form. So they will have to identify themselves as international students through some kind of means when they sign up. So I would suggest going ahead and meeting with them and tell them that in the few days remaining that we're happy to promote it, but because they didn't get in touch with us any sooner, we don't have the ability. But you will have to work with Luis and maybe put together a meme or something that you can post that just says, hey, are you an international student? Do you want to be part of this art competition? Just put your code in here and you're done. And then they can send us a bill. But if it all seems too complicated, I am completely fine with us dropping Art Fest because it was them dropping the ball and not us.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, but I would go ahead and meet with them and just see what they say. If nothing else, we can just share on our on our social media, but be sure they understand you can't go through some list and make an assumption on who's an international student and not. I mean, that's really kind of racist in some ways. I mean, you can't make an assumption on who's international. Anyway, I'll stop there and just say, yeah, that's not going to work. I did have a couple of questions for you guys. What are the times of the 2 classes? I never saw that published anywhere, and I really like for Sean to put that in the final promotional email that goes out. What are the times of those 2 classes?
Yeah, so I think our Chinese Lantern class will be taking place from, I believe, 3:30 to 4:30 or 3 to 4. And then our henna class will be taking place from 1 to 2 or 1:30 to 2:30. It's really just a 30-minute difference that we still need to finalize with our teachers, just because like they may have some small things they need to get ready for. But we can definitely contact y'all with official times by the end of the week. So y'all will have that information.
Yeah, I think by Friday you need to nail down those times because the idea was that maybe we would send out, start recruiting for audiences next week. We've been recruiting for participants so far, but starting to recruit for audiences. And I'm so glad you guys are doing a dress rehearsal. So many groups don't do that kind of thing. So that's very helpful to make sure everything is going well. And I'm assuming you guys are on the sign up list in terms of needing volunteers, both for packaging the art kits as well as for serving at the tabling on Monday and Thursday. Okay.
Yes, we talked to Dua about it and she has all our information on there.
Perfect. All right. Fantastic. You guys are on the ball, doing a great job. Just nail down those times by Friday, please, and let Sean, Dua, and I know what those are.
Yes, for sure, we will.
All right then. Thank you guys. That sounds good. I'm looking forward to those times because that's kind of the whole event. And yeah, you guys are on it. You and everybody. Dominic, is Dominic still here? Yeah. Everybody's on it. And he's good. Good deal. Okay. If there's no other questions, we're just about to hit 7 o'clock, and I'll give it 5 seconds. No questions. Okay, great. Well, guys, thank you for coming. It's great to see y'all's faces. Great to see that y'all are alive and well and not dead. So with that said, I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 6:59, and y'all can get back to y'all's days and the immense amount of work we all have. So take care and good night, folks. I'll stay on just a minute if any other execs stay here.